What is up, guys? Welcome back to Truth and Transparency. Trying to get as much charge as possible. Coming up from the side, back. Rumor has it that Lauren is saying that, if she was only one of those jurors in there that was saying guilty, that the other ones were not guilty, that she would have to switch her, because she would have to give lots of consideration to the people that found all the reasonable doubt. So she said she would switch her vote. Let's find out. We'll find out. Hello. There you go. Come on in, saddle up. Here we go. Yay, it's Atlanta time. Cute little United States Post Office, Delphi, Indiana building. Right across catty corner from the courthouse. This looks like a typical fall day today. Look at the sky. Hear that breeze? Yep. That wind. So the jurors, by the way, they went in there. Richard Allen has the right to be in there with his attorneys. So they had a question. They wanted to take a look at something. I'd be lying to you if I said I knew what that was. So, not going to do that. But, Mod Squad, what's up, boo? Shake your boo thing. row of
You guys were doing that live stream last weekend.
Everyone is had so many. Don't survive and not freeze. But like, I got quite a few things you have to dig up. If you're really
Look at this.
Sorry. This one.
Oh, Busy, what's up, girl? High five. High five. High five. We'll ask her. We're going to ask Lauren here soon. Again, what's up? There has to be legally reasonable doubt when the witnesses saw someone younger on the bridge. Something like that.
I just figured they'd probably all
You can do it. God, it's so it is getting a little chilly. What time will they deliberate today? Until 4. So until 4, unless they ask for more time. So, high five. Is that a red head or an orange head? Because I told people it's orange.
I think it's orange.
Hell yeah, it's orange. I was like, dude, someone's colorblind out here if they're saying Lauren's hat is red, because that shit is orange as day.
I like orange better than
That's
red.
my favorite color, by the way. So, that's number 1. Number 2, it's bright orange. Again, I'm a Browns fan, so the new bright orange colors.
Yeah, exactly.
So, were you guys next to us last night? Because then when I came over here, I tried to Rick stayed asleep in the back, so I zoomed in on him and I almost scared the living shit out of him. But I was like, nah, I won't. And so, but as I was telling Lindsay, I was like, they came out to try to scare us one night, and then I was like, oh my god, he went out there with his gun. And I was like, you see that? Well, yeah, because we thought it was the people. We thought, I was sleeping, but he thought it was people across the street. And he's like, because everything in those houses creak,
Yeah.
You hear one movement. But well, there's more mainstream media. Looks like it's coming in, flowing. Did the jury go on their break?
I have no idea. There was a drone out there again. I mean, the drone.
Oh, where are they flying it at? I've been trying to find it.
The drone was there, right there. Like, it just went back down. Oh my gosh. Hey, Julie. like 5 minutes ago.
So it was over
I
there?
was up there like 5
Okay.
minutes. Said they bring out the drone anytime
Yeah.
they come and go.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't run the whole time. That's the first
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen it.
someone said they saw it yesterday. I was like, I didn't see
But
it.
anytime somebody comes and goes from the side,
Okay.
so it makes me wonder if that was in goal.
Oh.
If they didn't call her in.
Oh, okay. If she has to come in. Oh, gotcha.
Because at first I thought, well, maybe it's the police just kind of scoping over the
Yeah,
area.
somebody said they saw it yesterday. I was like, I did not.
That's the
You know,
first I've
I
seen
didn't see it at
This
all.
is the third time I've been here.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
Someone just said that, so I thought, well, that makes sense then.
Yes.
Okay, FLG, what's that? Oh.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. So anybody that's wondering, Lauren's hat is orange, and it's bright orange. It's like my browns, like the new Browns banging orange. We'll make a loop around here. Let's go check it out. They had a drone over, and I didn't see it. I haven't seen it any time. So that's the famous gazebo. So we were just talking about how you scared us the other night. Because we tried to do it back, but I didn't know where you guys were. And I'm like, I'm not going knocking on all those doors over there. Did you guys get the park in the garage? Is that part of it? What is that stuff?
I guess you could if you like. They're like, you want to park in the garage, you can pay to, but.
Oh, okay, so it's part of it. Is there like an upstairs offices? Like, what are those windows up there?
So it's actually like 2 units on top. 2 units
Oh,
on
so you can like those are people like live?
Well,
Like offices?
reporter that was standing in the line right next to us.
Oh, okay. Because you guys weren't above like the garage space, right? You guys were in the house.
We're in the house.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Sorry. All right. Sorry, just catching my bearings here. I was just talking to Lauren. So yeah, I had to give Boston shit. Boston was like, "Oh, the lady in the red hat." I was like, "Red?" I was like, "She has an orange hat on today." Colorblind is all. All right, here we go. So this is like the front, but again, they're making everybody go in just the one way. Everybody has to stay over there. Now, rumor has it that there's been a drone. I haven't seen a drone, so I don't know if there's a drone. I haven't seen it, but this building is by far amazing. The hat looks red online. Oh, it's orange for days. So I'm gonna try to get everybody together and say, if we were the jurors here, would we be trying to convince other people, or would we just be like, hey, like, or would we just be talking about our points? Am I supposed to talk you into something? Like, how is this supposed to work? You know? So I think the question is are you supposed to talk me into something? Or are we supposed to listen to each other and then say, okay, yeah, that's possible. And then I explain you my end of it. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's possible. And then do we all say, well, if we're all saying that this is possible, then how is it not reasonable doubt? I guess that's the point I just want to make, is that I wouldn't talk you into anything. I don't want to talk you into guilty. I don't want to talk you into not guilty. I want to talk it out, and I want to hear your side. I want you to hear my side. And then I want us to realize that, okay, there's possibilities then, right? So doesn't that mean if we follow the jury instructions that we are supposed to go not guilty? Because I think that what you're saying is reasonable. And if you're saying that what I'm saying is reasonable, these are reasonable possibilities. And so I wouldn't try to go in there and try to change your mind. I don't want to change your mind. I want to acknowledge what you are saying, and I want you to acknowledge what I am saying, and then I want to go and look at the instructions, and then I want to read the instructions, and then I want to say, hey guys, I think all y'all could be right, okay? And if you could be right and that person can be right, and you guys have opposite of opinions, then that's what the whole reasonable doubt is, you know? And it's not that, you know, we're not over here saying Richard Allen's innocent or of these crimes. We want to look at it as like, did the state prove the case for us to say guilty? you know? So maybe we need to switch the way that the jury has to fill out forms. And maybe instead of saying not guilty, we have to change these forms to say we're checking the reasonable doubt. Because I think that would alleviate all this. Okay? Because I'm going to validate what you're saying when you're saying it to me. And if it sounds, if it's plausible, awesome. And then when you say to me, that sounds plausible. But you guys just gave me two totally different scenarios of what we heard with the evidence. And then I'm just going to try to remind everybody that, well, what is our duties? What did we say our oath was going to be? So maybe for some people, they can't say the words, well, I don't want to say the person that's on trial is innocent or that he's not guilty. But I would rather say that you've proved your case beyond a reasonable doubt, check that box, or you haven't proved your case beyond a reasonable doubt and check that box. Maybe that's what needs to change. Remember I was talking about earlier, guys? Like what needs to maybe change? Because of football, we put in the instant replay. Maybe what needs to change is these juror slips. Okay? And it's just I think we need to make some pushes for this. Because if they're doing their job in there, which is going through everything, I don't think that my job should be to convince you of thinking like me. And I don't think that your job should be for you to convince me to think like you. I think that if we're over here thinking, and we were obviously picked and went through this jury selection process, okay, it's because we all are bringing something to the table, validate all of that and say that, listen, we believe that there is reasonable doubt here and there should just be two boxes, reasonable doubt or no, or not reasonable doubt, And I think that this would make things, you know, I think this would totally change the way people maybe behave once they get the case. Because then they think, all right, we got 9, this way, and we got 3 that way. I got to change 3 of your guys' minds. You know what I mean? And it's like, if it was like, let's say like a 9 not guilty, and it was 3 guilty. If you respect the 9 other people that you're doing this with, and they are clearly showing you how they have reasonable doubt based off of X, Y, and Z, okay, are you going to look at your, equals in that room and say, okay, yeah, like I can see how you would think this way. And so what you're saying to me is reasonable. And that then would give me doubt on, like, then I could see where there would be doubt. Or am I looking at these people and saying, you guys are absolutely out of your fucking minds? But Karen Reed's was a hung jury, right? And now here we are. Is this going to be a hung jury? And maybe we need to ask ourselves, are we getting hung juries because people aren't budging, or people, I'm not going to make you budge, or but are we ignoring our instructions? And so that's what I think this is about, is, are we ignoring our instructions? If the instructions say in a manual to put the parts of A and B together first, okay, and then you go and find part C, and then you put that together, okay, like, are we following our instructions? You see, you can't say hung because the system is faulty, okay? Like, if what your fellow people are saying to you inside that room is reasonable, right? And that's why they're saying, I have to vote not guilty based on there's a reasonable doubt here, because I don't believe beyond reasonable doubt that this person did it. There's reasons to say that, like, there's nothing conclusive here. And so if you're being true to, like, you as a human, and you hear that, and someone says to you, well, I think that they're guilty, and then you say, okay, why? Well, because I believe that they're a bridge guy. Okay, why? Why do you believe that they're a bridge guy? Because it couldn't be anybody else. And then right there, I would tell you, that's unreasonable. I would be like, that's unreasonable. You can't sit here and tell me that there could be nobody else that could be him. I would tell you that they lost all these interviews. There's DNA at the crime scene that has not even been assigned to anybody. Okay? In the video that we just saw, the 43 seconds, nobody's getting kidnapped. Nobody's being abducted. Okay? Then we got to see an enhancement off of pixelated from NASA and Disney and all this shit, right? I mean, that's all messing with pixels. So for you, so that's what's happening right now in that room. Is we have really good listeners here, and that's where I'm wondering now if the people that are really good listeners, like the counselors, are trying to mediate things to say, okay, listen, you can't have it both ways. The person that's like so gung-ho, like, no, they're guilty, you know, or no, they're innocent. Because I think your stance on innocence would be, I don't know if they did it or they didn't. And that's the thing. That's where the reasonable doubt comes in. Is I'm not here to say that I'm voting this way because I think that Richard Allen didn't do it. I'm voting this way because I don't know if he did it. And so how do you want me to say guilty if I don't know that he did it based off of X, Y, and Z? And that's what I'm trying to say about this whole changing this to say, maybe we shouldn't be using the words not guilty, and we should be saying, checking the box, is there reasonable doubt, and checking the box, is there not, guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Maybe those are the boxes that need to be there. So we're on the corner here of Washington and Franklin Street. So courthouse is over there. This is the side that mainstream media is on and has been on. And then the other side is where the public, aka YouTubers or podcasters or whatever they're calling people. So I think that I'm just trying to say, if let's say that all of us were all in that jury deliberating room, I would want to be validating everybody's opinion on what they heard. And I would be, asking questions on, okay, first of all, if you're going to be in the category of that Richard Allen's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, you're damn right I'm going to be asking you questions as how did you get to that conclusion? And if you can't fundamentally produce to me how you got to that conclusion, I'm going to say, because you want to choose your words, I'm going to say, well, okay, that's where a whiteboard's very effective to say, okay, here's, juror 1, here's juror 2, go down, and then you say, okay, this is why, we're only going to work with 3 people here because these other 9, let's say, they're saying not guilty because they can't prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's why I feel that way. And this is why you wouldn't get me to change off of that. And I'm going to show you all of these reasons, and I'm going to tell you all of my reasons why I believe that. So for me, if I was in that jury room and you're one of the people that are saying guilty and you can't even remember anybody's testimony, you don't even know who testified, you didn't even take notes, okay? Then in there, I'm the foreman, and I'm going to say things like, okay, hey, sweet Susie here, number juror 1 or whatever. I get that you're saying guilty, but we've asked you, like, can you produce any of the stuff that you heard? And you're looking at your folders here, and you only took notes. You've only taken up one legal pad the whole time we've been here. Okay, we've asked you, do you know who so and so is? This is what they said, and you're over here, and you don't even know that so and so testified. So just think of. I'm just trying to throw you guys just how things could be going on. I'm sorry. All day, reasonable doubt, all day. Anything else would be not USA. We have a duty. Our duty is to follow the instructions, and I'm just saying, when you took that oath to say that you could be on this jury and that you were going to, like, we need to hold our criminal justice system to the standard that it was put in place, And that would just remind people that. I would say, listen, we're here to judge, not the families, not because we feel bad for, the Allens or Libby German's family or Abigail Williams' family. We're here because this county asked us to be the finder of fact, weigh the evidence, and can we get to a unanimous decision to find Richard Allen unanimously guilty of committing these murders based off of the evidence that was presented inside the courtroom. And then we must, if there is conflicting testimony, we must give the weight of that testimony to whatever person is. You have to weigh it in favor of the accused, in their favor of being innocent, because that is the definition of reasonable doubt. We had two experts come in here and talk about ballistics. One of them says that it was sufficient to be able to match it to Richard Allen's gun. The other person says that it is inefficient to be able to match it. And both of these people are highly recognized in their fields. So it's like going and seeing a specialist with the doctor and you have cancer and the one guy says you do and the other guy says you don't, right? Well, what do? You probably go get a third opinion, right? And that third opinion is reasonable doubt. That's what that third opinion is. Coming to these trials more and more and listening inside a courtroom and hearing the arguments, like, I thought that both sides presented their case as well as they could with the hands that they were dealt. But do I think that the closing arguments were handled the way that I believe that was best suited for the jury? Absolutely not. I was there during jury selection. I remember what every single person said that they needed to see in order to convict Richard Allen. And I would have reminded every single juror what they said in jury statements, jury selection to be selected for this. I would remind them of, you guys said that you needed to see X, Y, and Z. You didn't see those things. That's the reasonable doubt. That's what brought you onto this case, is that because you had the brains that you had. Don't check those brains at the door when you get the case. Nothing has changed. It's just we're at the end. There is no news, but if you follow trials and you follow our criminal justice system, bailing poor investigations out, jurors, their job is not to bail out poor investigations because you see victims' families. Like, that's just not okay. I'm not, and the judge says that. Do not give a verdict based off of sympathy. What happened in the courtroom today, looking at evidence and questionings, all that's happened in the courtroom today has just been, there was, I think everybody was there. something was asked to be seen. We don't know what that is. So, but I find it very, very odd for anybody to be able to seriously watch all the days in court and to be able to sit in a jury room and to say to themselves that the state proved that Richard Allen committed these crimes beyond a reasonable doubt. And I want to talk to those people. I want to talk to those people that say that they would convict Richard Allen. Convicting Richard Allen does not mean that you're giving anybody justice unless it's merited because he did it. You know, because I can promise you this, that Richard Allen has every walking path to an appeal that is literally just a step to just file a piece of paper. There will be another trial, and the families will have to go through this again. I don't want that for anybody. But I would love to be able to sit into a room and listen to people talk, because I would say, how are you sure beyond a reasonable doubt? And I just want to hear people talk about that. I want to hear people get on a panel and talk about how they believe beyond a reasonable doubt that Richard Allen's guilty off of what they've heard in that courtroom. And once I was to hear that from a panel, I think it would speak for itself. Because I will tell you, it'll sound foolish. It'll sound foolish. And that is no knock on the jurors. That's the jurors, I think, subconsciously trying to, want to give possibly families some closure. But that's just not their job. As jurors, our job is not that. And I can just tell you that if I was in that courtroom right now and I was one of the 12 that was deliberating, I'd be validating all of their opinions off of what they heard. And when everybody gets their opinions validated, then it's like, okay, now look we have all these possibilities, which means what? Which means what? That's possible, and that's possible. So what does that mean when you have all these possibilities? It means we are walking to literally sign our names on not guilty because of reasonable doubt. That's what that means. I wouldn't be fighting with people. I wouldn't be trying to get to I would not try to change you in what you thought. Why would I do that? Why would I try to talk you into something? I don't need to do that. I shouldn't do that. I should be listening to what you have to say, but you should be listening to what I have to say as well. And when you do that, it's like, I'm sorry, but it's like a divorce. Okay? You may have went out there and made all the money, but guess what? I stayed home and watched the kids and raised our kids and fed them and bathed them. And so we're partners in this 50-50. So we're going to split everything 50-50, right? When people try to go and fight for more than 50-50, you should really scratch your head. Why? Why would you think that you're entitled to more? These people are supposed to have no, skin in the game, right? But I know that I want to go ahead and I want to sleep at night. And so there's no way that I could convict somebody of murder if there's all this reasonable doubt. But also, I don't think that there should be a hung jury because there's a couple jurors that don't want to be reasonable. And that's probably what's going on right now. Is there's probably a handful of jurors that are like, no, we're not going with the hung jury here because a couple of you guys don't want to be reasonable. There's reasonable doubt here. Because if you are validating what I'm saying and I'm validating what you're saying, that's reasonable doubt. So please don't look at it that you are voting that this man is innocent of the crimes. Look at it as that the state didn't prove their case. And that's our job. The burden is on the state. Did they prove so that I could check that box? But if this is how you should be talking in that room. This case should not make more victims than there already are. Abby and Libby are the victims of February 13th, 2017. But Richard Allen is the victim of Westville Correctional Center. Don't you think twice about that? That has nothing to do about February 13th. And as much as Nick McClellan didn't want to make this trial about anything other than February 13th, it became something other than that when you wanted to bring in what happened after February 13th. And any reasonable person is going to tell you that. Any reasonable person is going to tell you that I live in the United States of America and we don't get confessions by holding people in solitary confinement for 13 months. That's not how we... So I would just throw all that stuff out and I would work with what the state put together to hand me when they arrested Richard Allen. This was the case. Okay, Lana needs to be the fourth person on every jury. I think that when you go into a courtroom and you start thinking that I got to change people's minds, that's the wrong way to do this. And when you're selecting the jury and you think that I'm going to change people's minds because they may be some type of way when I got them to be on this jury because I selected them or whatever, but I'll be able to do this. Not, excuse me. Hopefully you're picking people that you think that are going to be able to follow the instructions. We want people that are what? Following the law. We want law-abiding citizens, right? We don't want people that we can control and manipulate and twist and change. We want people that we think are going to be fair. That's why I went to Fort Wayne. I think more people, defense attorneys in these closing arguments, need to really think about who they're talking to. You know, in the O.J. Simpson case, it was laid out pretty sweet and simple. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Okay. I would have just reminded every single one of those jurors what they said that they needed to see and hear in order to think that somebody was guilty of murder. And those things, I would have remembered every single one of those jurors and what they said. And I would have geared the portion of my closing to each and every single one of those jurors so that they felt at peace, that I remembered what they said. And I would say, please don't bail out the state. That's not your job. By you coming back and saying not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, it's because the state didn't do their job to give you a case that you could check the other box. Please don't bail out the state. That's not justice. I think it's interesting and no one's talking about it, so I'm going to make it known that the jury has not come back and said, hey, Judge Gall, we are just so deadlocked that we can't make a decision and we can't compromise our beliefs and blah, 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 like we saw in the Karen Reed case, like a bunch of fucking idiots. So kudos to Indiana for not showing their asses. I want to give a little shout out to Indiana. The jurors on here not making themselves look like fools by writing Judge Gall the most ridiculous letters. So cheers to Indiana. No one's writing ridiculous letters to Judge Gall. You're supposed to only ask questions, you know? So cheers to Indiana. Indiana just smacking Boston and Massachusetts. You know. Oh my God, look at the Jurassic Park for the Jeep. That's sweet. hung jury doesn't mean the jury. I didn't say anything about a hung jury and that they're asses or whatever. That's not what I said. I said that they're not writing ridiculous letters and talking about stuff that is not what they were supposed to be doing. They're supposed to only write something to the judge that is a question. You don't write paragraphs about your fees. Okay, it's not about your feelings. You're supposed to park all of that when you got here, and Indiana's doing that. So cheers to Indiana. Yeah, I'm over here like Santa, ringing my bell. People are trying to put money in my little bucket. Anybody that says that they can vote this case guilty beyond a reasonable doubt is lying if they were there for every day. I think the jury should be commended for all of their juror questions. I can't wait to find out what juror questions weren't asked. That'll be interesting to hear if any of the juror questions that they had like written in were like, oh, we're not going to ask that. So, all right, we have 12 super chats, super stickers. So, $4.99. She seemed to lean not guilty early on, but she shifted. You can do this. Rah rah. Thank you for everything you do, Lana. Thank you, rah rah. Heather One Nimble, thank you for all your hard work. Love you, boo. Thank you. Mod Squad, don't be giving Boston shit. She's my girl. 39 months, making it known, baby. Love it. That's hot. Donna Martin, graduate. Lana, take a listen to this song I'm dedicating to you. Just change the name and the lyrics to Lana, the band. Oh, I love the wait. You gotta love it. Cohen, $4.99, thank you so much. AKA, is it Radar? Thank you so much, Lana. Your truth, your transparency, and your real. Please ask for a sign to be made for Michelle after dark. Oh, yes. Yep, definitely. Actually, I don't know how she got left out. I will definitely walk over there and do that. 5 gifted memberships from Deborah. Deborah's awesome. Thank you so much, Deborah. Kelly Mack donated 5 memberships to Turn People Green. What's awesome about the green is because when you become a member of the channel, I use the community section of the page or the channel to be able to post like the data that I do, the extra behind the scenes stuff. So you get a lot in the community section of where I post, and then you do get videos and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing with me is that you get all the extra data stuff. So I'm a timelines person. Tina, thank you. Hello, Lana from Rochester, Indiana. You're awesome. I agree with you 100%. Thank you. Aaron, can Gull stop the jurors from speaking out? Nope. They can speak on it 100%. 100%. The jurors, they have the choice. Marsha, thank you so much. Nothing changes if nothing changes. We need a change in our justice system across the board. And I think it should really begin with how the jurors select things. Like there should be just a line that across the board, even when you got all these, charges going on, but I'm selecting, reasonable doubt. Check. You just check that, and that just handles everything. Either there's reasonable doubt across the board, and there should be that reasonable doubt across the board up top, and then for each subsection, there should be just reasonable doubt, and check that. When you check reasonable doubt, let these jurors say that there's reasonable doubt. Just showing love from Fort Wayne, former criminal paralegal here. Thank you, Lean On Me. Love that song. Freckled Gemini, thank you so much. Did you? Yes, I did. I got the Cash Apps. Those of you guys that are sending those, it's hard for me to go back and forth, but thank you so much. I did get that. Hughes, get another Christmas. You guys, I bought some Christmas decor while I've been here. I'm living in my Christmas bubble. Kelly, love that you look outside the box. You take the box apart and dissect it all. This is why I back you. Thank you so much for that. Take a load off, Lana. Thank you guys. So we have the other thing is that, you know, when somebody gets to decide if they're like they're the finder of fact here, the jury is, but they weren't the finders to see what came in to be able to then be decided on the facts. So the admissibility part here is interesting when you want to think about it. Should the jurors ever know, you know, here's what the judge deemed inadmissible, just you know, I don't know. I don't know. Please hit that thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Oh, the cops have been awesome here. They've been making sure that everybody's been safe, and I just really appreciate that. I think that I would look at it as nobody would ever wish upon anybody that you would ever be in the victim's family's positions, just as much as you would never wish to be in Richard Allen or his wife's position in their family. And would you want your dad convicted off of the evidence that was presented in this courtroom? And if you can say yeah, all right, then why don't you switch spots with him? But would you ever want your dad convicted off of the evidence that was in this courtroom? And it's unfortunate that people want to associate that if you say not guilty here, that takes anything away from what happened on February 13th, 2017, because it doesn't. And people that want to correlate the two truly shouldn't be judging in this situation because they don't have the capacity to compartmentalize the facts and the truth, and that one doesn't equate to the other. So
Until 4. Okay. Unless they ask for more time.
You know what they say is that you'd rather have a guilty man go free than an innocent man go to prison, right? I've seen too many people go to prison, especially in the African American community that I back, especially the African American males that have gotten railroaded in Pennsylvania that I back. To see that Richard Allen got 2 amazing lawyers and a staff around him to advocate for the truth, not just for him, but for this community. If you guys truly want to know what happened, this defense team tried to showcase that, and they were stopped at every path, and I don't know. You have to ask yourself why. Make yourself known. 2.3 here. Make yourself known. I want to again shout out to everybody that traveled to make sure they got a seat in the courtroom. All the people that sat in chairs to help to make sure that the people that were taking amazing notes got in the courtroom. People did their best to try to show transparency, and they made sacrifices to do it. Give a shout out to the law enforcement. There's 36 different agencies that have kept us all safe here. If you're from the area or close to the area, please come out and support all the local shops along the whole square, because a lot of people stayed away from this area during the trial, and it really, really affected these local businesses. So if you have a chance to come out and say you want to, thinking about going to eat somewhere over the next couple of weeks, come out to Delphi and eat at these local establishments that had a setback due to people not wanting to come down during this time. So. Bucks are up 7-0. H-O. That's what they say. Ho? What? No. O-H, guys. Come on now. We joke around in Columbus. Thank you there, Lisa. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being our eyes and ears. Lady Justice wears a blindfold for a reason, guys. Maybe they need to update it and have earplugs in too, but then if you can't see and you can't hear, I mean, come on. There's the railroad tracks down there. There we go, IO. There we go. Again, shout out. I'm telling you guys, the police departments, all the agencies. I'm telling you, there was 36 involved, and it's been like 1-to-1 ratio, and it's been so amazing because you feel like you can be down here, you can walk around, I can go over there, I don't have to worry. Nobody has to worry. The police are here and they're here to protect and serve. So again, shout out to all the agencies involved. So nothing, no new news. Let's take a look here. Let's see. All right, I'll go sit out front here. We'll put a little cam on. We'll go this way. Nowhere near as many cameras today as there were yesterday. Not too many people work on Saturdays. But we have people using jumper cables. We have people sharing like plugs like this. So everybody's trying to help each other stay, have all their stuff all charged up. So.
Thank you again for the pizza. Yeah, of course.
A little bit of sun over there coming through. Right. Let's see something.
I'm not sure whether
You guys ready to start playing some Uno? Oh, oopsies. Sorry, guys. There for. Awesome. Just a lot of support. What's that, brick?
Charge.
Yeah, I was just gonna throw it here.
Have a seat.
Oh, or I can just.
I'll scoot over and let her sit here because she wants to plug in. I think, right?
No, I can do wherever you want. I can go wherever.
Yeah.
I was just gonna set it up because what I'm gonna do is check this out. I'm gonna make a post because what I decided here
Yeah, he had been murdered.
is if I can't, I'm not gonna do. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna have the camera out while the phone charges without the sound. Okay, but at least you'll get to see.
Oh, there's no sound?
Well, I'm gonna do it here in a second. That way, the camera can say.
Okay.
But if can you take this little whatever this thing is here? Is there any way to move that one?
Yeah.
Because if we can do that,
That's fine. This one on the.
yeah, then we can go. I have an idea. Yeah, there we go.
Which one
Then
is
I can have like a live cam, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So, to say, Candace, I would love to have you in the deliberating room to say, what do you mean he wasn't tortured? This is the only thing I would love to say about that is that to just come out and just flat out say that he wasn't tortured. Okay. I would say, would you be willing to give me all of your devices? Here you go. I have a little, you're going to wear this little, I don't even know, sheet over your body. And and all these people are going to be able to, just observe you 24 hours a day. with a camera, and you're going to be in an 8 by 12, 12 by 8, and we're going to leave you there for 4 months straight, okay? And we're going to feed you like a dog through a little hole for you to get your food. You're not going to talk to anybody, and we're going to chain you up when we have to take you out and walk you around and put a chain on your neck and have a little leash. And well, you tell me how you feel after 4 months, okay, honey? Okay. 15 days is what's considered torture by the United Nations. Solitary confinement for 15 days is considered torture. All right. Go ahead. One of the mods here, I know Murky's been keeping a nice running tally of our time. But also, if I can just get one of you guys to write in chat that we have no volume, but we do have our space cam. So thank you.
I went and bought him some gravy train, ate all that. So now I went ahead and go get him some chicken.
You guys, it says it right there on the screen. Welcome. This is just a live cam with no audio for now. I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe it's right out there on the screen, man. Back live from Delphi. Lookout. Let's see. It is check-in time, 12:52 Eastern Standard. 12:52. So just about to get to the 1 o'clock hour. Again, the jury can go to 4. They can go past 4. Yeah. Oh, I love this one. Y'all don't want closure. What else y'all gonna talk about when verdict comes back? How's Lana going to survive without donations? Hmm. You're right. God, how am I? Now it's kind of like pay per view, I guess, when you used to pay to watch like fights and shit like that. Why'd you pay to watch fights? Think about it though. I want to help to educate the uneducated. Why would you ever pay for a fight to watch on pay per view? Like, man, you donating. Man, you donator, you. You donating. Fool. This is 101 in educating the uneducated. I just love it though. Oh, I can understand why they do. There you go. Total fire. All comes down to, what do you believe about our justice system? Criminal justice system. I can't wait to interview the people that held out for guilty. I can't wait to ask them what evidence brought them beyond the guilty path that was beyond a reasonable doubt that you were like, they're guilty. What did the state prove to you and how did they do it? Sherry D, 555. For Dawson, God love it. You know me, you want to throw it up, I'll throw it down. I just love that you're here. That's the greatest accomplishment in the world. Let me take a curtsy. Thank you. Thank you. Women rule. we should be. This should just be a really an eye opener for the criminal justice system. Go back though and think about in 2022 when Richard Allen was arrested. Everybody hung his ass out. Oh my God, that everybody, mainstream media just burning him, right? And it wasn't until his defense attorneys put in a Frank's motion, and then it started shutting up some of these fucking fools that wanted to just, they think that they have a platform and they can just burn people because of the platform that they have. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Love Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you. I have not gotten any of the juror questions. They've made it so that we're not going in for those, so we can't file people in and file them out like the way that it is. So there's no cameras in the courtroom, and I would think that the best part to do this, to not have all this, would be to, all right, we'll let cameras in the courtroom for the verdict. You know what I mean? None of this would be going on. I know I'm going in to not hear the verdict. I'm going in to see how it all. I'm taking notes on how everything transpires since there is no camera. So I'm not going in there to hear guilty, not guilty. I'm going in there to keep an eye on the process. Oh, there you go. Elizabeth, great question there. I'm so curious to learn. She says, whose DNA was also at the crime scene and is an employee of ISP? I wonder if it is. I don't think it's him. It's not him. I would have to agree with you there. Armor of God. All right, Murky. Murky, what's our timestamp at? What's our timestamp here? We're at 102. So what's our timestamp? It's been 4 hours today, minus the hour for lunch. So my opinions on Ronald Logan. I'm very interested to see his pings, where he was pinging at. But I know that people lie for other reasons, not because they commit murder. And I also know that the way that the creek works, and where where your house is, and then how much land you have down to the. I mean, it could have been as easily on somebody else's property. So when it comes to, like, the whole property thing, so. But I think it's interesting with that the bullet wasn't in his PCA. I think if the bullet was so important, right? Why wasn't it in his PCA? And they say because they were able to get to his guns without it, because it was a violation of probation. So that they didn't have to put it in the PCA. But then I was also told that nobody thought it was important because they thought it was somebody, on the in the staff, that it was somebody from one of their guns, I can't wait to find out how long that was roped off for a crime scene. So if they found the bodies at 12 or 12:30, how long did they stay on the on the ground? Because from what I think it was 9 p.m. So they were out there from 12 to 9 after being found. And then I would love to hear how they moved the bodies up and out of there. Because I'm telling you, that area, like, how do you just wheeling somebody away? Like, there's just no easy way to get out of there. So. My best guess of this crime is that for being such a short window of time that all of this took place, would have to be somebody that knew where the girls were going, knew where they would be. So, and that does not tell me that tells me everything but Richard Allen. If you want to keep it in the window of what the state showed. And then I just find it really hard to believe that they wouldn't have found the girls if they were searching all over that area, and to think that they didn't know that Libby had Find My iPhone. Like, I find that hard to believe. Like, I know everything. Like, I find that hard to believe. But really, did they truly try to use Find My iPhone, knew where her phone was, and then could somebody then go where it was and plug it in with, it just, like I said, there's just so much reasonable doubt. It's not even funny. It's just wild. Oh, you're welcome, Kate. I think Brad Weber walked himself into a heaping hot mess. To change up his story for the state. Meanwhile, he's walking himself into being then a prime suspect. You fucking idiot. You said you didn't go straight home. Now you want to say that you went straight home. I mean, why you would do that for the state, and the state saying, like, listen, we're not coming for you. Like, okay. Brad Weber said he went and services ATMs. He didn't go straight home. So think about that. But now we need you to change your story. But don't worry. We'll make sure that, we don't come for you for this. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's what I think about that. Brad Weber. People that have no problem lying is just sad. Oh, there's Bob. Bob came down, walking down. Oh, here, come in here. Because then we can hear it. We can hear it. No, turn it up so we can hear it in here.
Okay. Yeah, so you think they're going to come back today?
I don't.
All right, let's go to Lee. Thanks, Lindsay. Lee, how are you? Good. Did you get a good night's sleep?
I did.
All right. So, sorry. So where are you at today?
So, I don't know. It's taking longer than I thought. I'm already off. I thought they'd be back yesterday, so they're not. And if they're still reviewing, then it could be a while. Maybe it'll be not today. Maybe it'll be next week.
Yeah, my gut's telling me we're not going to get a verdict today, but I never know. I'm never right. So
Exactly. I thought Friday, so I'm already wrong. My prediction's no good.
all right. So now that we have both Andrea and Lee here, people are giving me all kinds of shit because my mod made a thumbnail with AI, and they thought that I was like, why aren't you making it look like Lee and Andrea? So I just want you guys to know that I didn't make it, first of all, and it was not in any way trying to. We were all AI images, all of us. So somebody had mentioned that in my chat, so I just wanted you guys to know if that was.
Does that look good?
I thought you looked amazing. So I know we all looked amazing, but whatever. So all right, what's the plan? Are you gonna, if no verdict, you're just gonna try to relax all day tomorrow, get some good sleep?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I had a blast with you. I wish I could have hung more, but people loved when it was you, Allie, and Andrea. People love powerful attorneys that are women, so I was glad that you guys were able to do that.
Yeah. Well, it was good to do.
Yeah. All right, and maybe we can do it again tonight. We'll see. We'll figure it out. All right, Andrea, where are you at?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good. So, where are you at today?
We're waiting. We continue to wait.
So, what do you think? Do you think we're getting a verdict today?
It's impossible to say. I do think the fact that the day off tomorrow, where they don't have contact with their families, they don't have their phones, maybe they'll get an activity. I guess we didn't hear anything about that, but it doesn't really give them a whole lot to look forward to. So it does incline me to think that if they aren't able to get it done today, it's because there are significant disagreements on the jury. And I would just point out, I think that should give everyone who's watched this case some pause. These folks have had a lot of confidence about their perspectives in the case, and they think it's easy to take for granted that the jury is going to see things the way that they do. And it does appear that it's not such an easy decision for this jury to make.
God, she's so smart. I've been saying the same thing. I mean, it's just not one of those cases where this is an open shut thing. Like we've had cases and trials where it's kind of like, it's pretty evident. This is not that. It's never been that. So I think. What do you think about the concept? If they ask for extra time? So they've given the jury the option to be able to say, you know what, we want to go a little bit longer today. Like, how would you take that? Would you take that as maybe it's close? Like maybe they think get something done?
Yeah, I would take that as a very positive sign. It means that they're making progress. They're not ready to give it up yet. So I think that would tend to be an optimistic perspective, that there's still ground to be gained.
I'm getting more and more nervous about a hung jury, to be honest with you. I mean, every hour that ticks, but you can kind of look at it both ways, I mean, if you use the old each day of trial should equate to an hour of deliberation, I mean, we still haven't hit that number yet, so maybe it's that, but it's impossible to know.
Well, it is. It's been a massive volume of information in this case, 18 days of trial, The jury absolutely wants to be careful and make sure that they've considered everything from all options. So this is one of the reasons why it is a bit fruitless to try to read the tea leaves with what a jury's doing. It is. We all want to know, but the reality is it is always just guesswork. So what will be will be.
Yep. I mean, you're awesome. You're the best. All right. Well, if you guys need anything, you know, I'm here. I'm here for you. All right. All right. And you guys want to come on camera? Oh, hey, you doing? How you doing? Hey, so you wanna? How do you think your son did on the stand?
Well, I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but I heard he did great.
He was phenomenal. He was my favorite witness.
That's awesome.
Is that Max's dad?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I had said on my live, I said I wanted to put him in a headlock, give him a loving noogie. You know, I was really proud of him, and he's not even my kid, but as a father, I'm sure you were.
That's Max's dad.
He loves argue. It's his favorite thing. So, yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like that's the thing. So, well, congratulations on raising a great kid. Are you mom? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Bob Mata, in case you don't know. So,
That's
how do you
Max's
guys feel?
parents.
Do
He
you
was
guys have
on
any
the
thoughts
stand.
in terms of what might be going on with the jury up there?
Part of the defense.
I mean, we're just hoping that they come back with the innocent, not guilty. Yeah. I mean, Max has said for a year and a half this guy had nothing to do with it. And so, you know,
I mean, every attorney that's touched that, and people that are working with the attorneys has said the same thing. I mean, it's been pretty, and it's unusual. I mean, typically, like what attorneys are allowed to say is our client's presumed innocent. So when you have attorneys, defense attorneys, kind of like willing to take that step over the line and say, our guy's factually innocent, you know, you got to give it weight, you know. So, what do you think? Innocent. Yeah. Get in here. So you're Max's sister?
Yeah.
All right. So have you been following the case?
Yeah.
I imagine your brother's deep in it. So, so what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think he's innocent. Based on what I've read and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think the jury's going to do? Because those are two different questions, right? So what do you think the jury's going to do? What do you think?
I don't know. I think based on everything that's been said and like all the all the evidence, I think that the jury's gonna say he's not guilty.
Awesome. All right.
Well, that's what I think. That's what I
Should we
think.
get you? I think we should get you on. I think we should. So who are you?
My name is Lindsay Rosie, and
Oh, Lindsay Rosie.
the other half of Brad.
So you were
Oh,
Brad's wife.
that's Brad's
I had the
wife.
pleasure of sitting next to Lindsay during her husband's closing arguments, which was a nice thing to do. So what are you
Aw,
thinking on this?
that's Brad Rosie's wife right there.
You know, it's I think it's a tragic injustice. Is what I think it is.
Oh,
And
yes.
I hope that the jury does the right thing and acquits him. And I think it's a tragic injustice for everybody involved.
I do too.
I feel
Everybody
for the
involved.
families of Abby and Libby, and I feel for the Allen family, and I just think that, you know, they gotta get the right person. It's not Rick.
Aw,
I mean, what else can
that's
you say?
fucking awesome,
You're
man.
awesome.
We
Right.
appreciate everybody's support. We feel the support from everybody. So,
I hope so. All right, bring it in here. You don't get to be shy. All right, so what's your name?
I'm Amelia Rosie.
Oh, gosh.
Dad, the proud daughter.
Yep.
So,
Aw.
how you been feeling about this?
Well, we're definitely ready for it to be over. I mean,
Yeah.
we know how hard my dad and the whole entire team has worked, so we're just hoping that the jury takes everything that is being said into consideration and makes the right choice. And
It's hard, right?
it's hard.
So how old are, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 17. I'm a senior.
So
Aw.
I have three daughters, and when Allison and I tried a case like this, you know, was it hard? Like your dad's been gone a lot, right? For
Yeah.
the last 2 years,
Yeah.
it's been like kind of absentee, not by choice, but because he's
Yeah.
doing what he has to do. So from that side of it, I mean, has it been hard for you? Because I always wondered, like I went like 3 months without seeing my daughters, but for like 1 day
Yeah.
when I was trying that case, and it was in a different state. But you know, have you been able to kind of like power through it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird not having him around as much, but he's there for the important stuff. I mean, I've had a senior night so far for sports, and he's make sure he's there for that, and he's there when he can be. But he knows that he has all of us supporting him, and we know that he's working hard on this case, so we understand.
And he's done a phenomenal job. As a fellow defense attorney, I tell him all the time, it's like he's done us all proud from the defense bar. So this is the question everybody wants to know. Are you thinking about going to law school?
Ooh, I don't know. After this, I'm not so sure about that.
That is the correct answer. I tell all my kids, do not go to law school. Be happy in life. Don't go to law school. All right, well, I appreciate it.
Oh, that's great.
That is
Thanks,
awesome.
God. All right. You too.
Done.
You too.
Go Rosie family! Woo, Rosie family!
We haven't talked to you yet, and we need to talk to you.
We love Max.
All right.
There you go. That's how delayed it is.
Date of birth, social security number.
All right, so I'll be 53.
Oh, he's interviewing Daddy now, man.
I like
We
Don.
don't give
He's a
out our
great guy.
government names on this show.
Donnie Kent's.
What color is Rosie's tie today? Do you know what color his tie is?
There's been a lot change and a lot go.
We tried to take a peek. We couldn't tell.
Speak up.
Okay. We're on Rosie Watch. Yeah.
This isn't the time to whisper.
Okay, well, I honestly think
Uh.
that's excessive. I mean, there's not enough to really say that he's guilty. I mean, there's everything that the court has put, that the defense, or the prosecution has put in is, in my eyes, debunked.
All right, so that's your perspective. What do you think this jury is going to do?
They've got a lot to work out. They've got to think of both families. They've got to think of everything involved.
See, that's where he's wrong. You don't have to think about families. I disagree with that completely.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, they don't have to think about families. That's the last thing you actually think about. You can't think about the families. That's just not true. That's actually what they tell you not to do. But there's a lay person thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's who you're going to get on your jury. And that's just not what you're supposed to do. You don't think about the families when you're deciding a case like this. That's not anything that's taken into account. But when you hear a lay person say that, that should tell every lawyer why they need lay people to consult with. Okay? Like, hey, they're going to tell you that, yeah, they can set things aside and blah, 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 but, like, let's just hear things from, like, a lay person. But that's just, and I love Donnie to death, but that's actually what they tell you not to do. And for whatever reason, this 39 degrees has been up here the whole entire time. So, all right, guys. Well, I will be back for the afternoon. This is your lunchtime verdict watch. I'll be back to take a nice loop around town. See you guys on the flip side.